Hi, I'm Tim and welcome to this video. Well, what can I say, but Reolink have done it again with, which has been released today, the Reolink Altas and Reolink Solar Panel 2. Now, this features a 20,000 milliamp hour battery. Yes, 20,000 milliamp hours. And it lasts for up to 540 days on a charge. Now, it's solar powered, of course, with the Solar Panel 2, which is included in this box. And here in the UK, this is currently priced at around £140. However, Reolink often do sales, so you might find it cheaper in a sale depending on what time or what day you're watching this video. So what we'll do in this video is take a look inside the box, go through the specifications, and then what we'll do is get it adopted into the Reolink smartphone app. So let's get right to it now. So here we are with the Reolink Altas and Reolink Solar Panel 2. So as you can see, I've opened the box, and first thing what we get in the top of the box is the envelope, which has various documents inside. So inside the envelope we get a little booklet telling us about battery Wi-Fi security solutions, and of course it shows you other different cameras that Reolink do with the solar panel ones and also Wi-Fi ones. And on the other side we also have a solution with the Reolink hub, Reolink doorbell, and of course a selection of images there on the front cover. We also get the Reolink 24-hour surveillance sticker, which you can put of course on your windows or somewhere around your property. We have an operational instruction booklet for the Reolink Altas. So inside the booklet it tells you what's inside the box. There's also the contents there at the front. It tells you about charging instructions, product overview, initial setup with the QR code to download the Reolink app for either Android or iOS devices or iPhone, for example. So we'll put that booklet to one side. We also have the operational instruction booklet for which applies to the Reolink solar panel, Reolink Solar Panel 2 as well. We also have two mounting templates, one for the camera and also one for the solar panel as well. And there's also a little one-page document here with warm tips. And then inside the box we have the solar panel, which just pops out of the top cover there, and here you'll see we've got the solar panel 2, and it has of course the cable connected to it with a USB-C connection which goes into the camera itself, which I'll show you a bit later. And then in the box the camera itself, which is the Reolink Altas. Now it has plastic cover around the casing and also on the lens at the front, and also another plastic cover on the back where the mounting bracket fixes into. There's also an external antenna, as you'll see here, so that provides better Wi-Fi coverage, and this does support Wi-Fi 2.4 GHz and also 5 GHz as well. So also inside the box we have the mounting brackets. So we have two straps which can be used to mount the camera and the solar panel to a pole, for example. So there's two of those, one for the camera, one for the solar panel. There's also a metal mounting plate which you use alongside the straps to mount it to a pole should you so wish. There's also two packets of fixing screws, and also wall plugs as well. So you get two packets, one for the solar panel of course and one for the camera. There's also a little foam insert which goes in the back of the bracket, and we also have two mounting brackets, one for the solar panel and one for the camera. And in addition to that there's also a metal plate as well, which again is used as a mounting option. And lastly there's another cable, which is a USB-C cable to USB-A cable, and this is used to initially charge the camera before you actually mount it, so that you can ensure that it has enough charge to adopt it into the Reolink app, and also enough charge so that the solar panel can then take over and keep it fully charged once you installed it. Now, taking a look at the camera in detail, what we'll do is remove the plastic wrapping around the camera itself. Which easily slides off, and you can easily put the wrapping back on should you so wish to rebox it. Now, as I've said, there's two plastic adhesive covers over the lens itself and over the mounting bracket at the opposite side. So here's the camera. It has a bit of weight to it, obviously, because there's a 20,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this as well. So hence why it weighs sort of, I would say, probably like a kilo bag of sugar, that sort of weight. Now onto the specs. It can do up to 10 seconds of pre-recording. It has, as I've said, a massive 20,000 milliamp hour battery. It also supports 2K colour night vision. That's day and night with Colour X technology. So it captures detail in 2K with lifelike colours even in low light. It also has dual band, and as I've said, it can support 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz, but also Wi-Fi 6 as well. So it's Wi-Fi 6 capable. It has AI detection and instant alerts. It has local storage. So for the local storage, what you do is lift up the rubber cover at the bottom, and here we have a micro SD card slot. Now it can take up to 512 gigabytes of micro SD card storage, so it stores the footage locally, or you can of course link it up to the Reolink Home Hub or the Reolink NVR. Next to the SD card slot there's also a button which acts as a power on button and also the power off button. Now next to this we have the speaker, so there's also two-way audio with this, and then here we have another rubber cover, and that is for the USB-C port, which is used to connect the solar panel via the USB-C cable connection into the camera to keep it fully charged. There's also a factory recessed hole there to factory reset the camera should you so wish, and these rubber covers just fit back on like so. Now at the back for mounting, here we have the mounting which just screws in to the back there by the threaded screw, and then you just angle the camera at what angle you like by twisting this, releasing it so that you can angle the camera, and then once you've got it in position you tighten this up and then it will keep the camera in place. Now onto the other side of the camera there's actually the QR codes. So what you do is scan the QR code into the app, and that will then pair it into the Reolink app so that you can then connect it to your Wi-Fi network. Now what I would recommend doing is taking a photograph of this QR code and saving it somewhere on your computer or on your smartphone, for example, so that in case you need to pair it at a later date, you don't have to reach up to the camera to scan the QR code. Now it can be installed on walls or on a pole mount, so that if you want to mount it to a pole, you don't need to do any drilling, of course. But what I'll be doing in a future video is mounting it to a wooden panel on my shed wall temporarily, so that we can test it out fully and connect it to the Wi-Fi network, and of course we'll see some camera footage then. Now it's IP66 weatherproof, and as I've said, it's smart home integration, so it's compatible with Google Assistant, Alexa, and also of course you can pair it up into Home Assistant. So with this, as I've said, there's local storage, so you don't have any monthly storage fees. It supports Colour X night vision, so colour as well as black and white. So if you want it black and white, for example, at night, then you can enable that option in the Reolink app. And it supports Wi-Fi 6, of course, as I've said. It has the external antenna there, which can be angled, so it can be done at right angles. So for example, you can face it downwards. Now for the detailed specifications, it has a 1/1.8 inch CMOS sensor. The resolution it can support is 2560 by 1440, and that's at 4 megapixels. The lens is an f4mm and it's fixed. The video compression it supports is H.264 or H.265. The field of view, so that's diagonally, it's 110 degrees. Horizontally, which is side to side, is 90 degrees, and vertically is 50 degrees. The frame rate is up to 15 frames per second, and it also supports two-way audio using the built-in speaker and microphone on the camera there, which is between the two recessed panels there. The battery life for motion detection, it can support 300 seconds of recording per day, and that's with motion detection mode, and that's up to 18 months or 540 days. For continuous recording options or pre-recording mode, the approximate is 28 days per charge, and that's at 3 frames per second, which is default, or approximately 14 days per charge at 5 frames per second, or approximately 8 days per charge, and then the battery life may vary depending on settings, usage and temperature, of course. However, as I've said, it can last up to 540 days on standby. The solar panel compatibility is the Reolink Solar Panel 2, which is the 6-watt version, which is supplied with this, of course, as I've shown you here. And the power port is a USB-C, and it supports USB-A to USB-C cables only, which of course is supplied here with it. The storage is up to 512 gigabytes via the micro SD card slot, which is under this recessed panel here, and it also has the reset button. The wireless standards it supports is IEEE 802.1a, B, G, N, AC and AX. The operating frequency is 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, so it can combine those two to create the Wi-Fi 6 standard. The wireless security is WPA, WPA2 and also WPA3. It also supports Bluetooth 5.0, and for the software it supports PC, Windows, macOS, smartphone, iOS and Android. It can support a pre-recording of 10 seconds, which is the default, adjustable from 2 to 20 seconds, and the frame rate is adjustable from 3 frames per second, and the default frame rate for this is 3 frames per second, which can go up to 15 frames per second. It also supports smart alarms, so that's motion detection, and that's PIR triggered via the PIR sensor in the front near the lens. The PIR detection range is up to 10 meters, so that's 33 feet, and it also supports time-lapse, smart home compatibilities with Google Assistant, Alexa, and also it's compatible with the Home Hub. And of course, I've just said that you can also link it into Home Assistant as well. The operating temperature is between -20 and +55 degrees Celsius. That equates to -4 Fahrenheit up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. The operating humidity is between 20% and 85%. And as I've said before, it's IP66 weather rating. Now the weight of this is 554 grams. So as I've said, it does have a bit of weight to it, but that's with the 20,000 milliamp hour battery in it. That's the reason for that. And it also supports a 2-year limited warranty. So what we'll do now, we'll get it adopted into the Reolink app. So what we're going to do is first open the front cover like you see I have done. This is the white cover. There's two. There's one grey at the bottom, which is, as I've said, the USB-C port and the reset button in the recessed hole there. So you don't need those for the time being to get it adopted into the app. So once we've done that, we will then insert a micro SD card, which I'll do right now. And this is a 64 gigabyte micro SD card, just for temporary purposes while we're adopting it. So we'll insert that, and then it just clicks into place, which then locks it into the slot. So then what we can do is then power on the device. So what I'll do is just hold my thumb over the speaker setting here, as it's quite loud. So we just power on the device by holding it down for a few seconds, and then it powers on and you get a message as you will hear. So once you've powered on the camera, you can then open up the Reolink app on your smartphone or tablet, whichever you're using. In this case, I've got it opened up with my smartphone and I've already installed the Reolink app, as you will see. So what we're going to do is just click on the Reolink app. This will then open up the app, as you will see. And then what we're going to do with the device powered on is click on the plus button in the top right corner here. And then it's asking us to scan the QR code. Now, as I've said, what I've already done is taken a photograph of the device. So to get the QR code from the photograph, what we need to do is select album at the top right corner here. Then you'll see it's taken us into the photographs. So what we'll do is just click on the correct photograph, which is this one, and it will then say select your network connection. So what we'll do is just click configure Wi-Fi via Bluetooth. Then I've heard the voice playing, so select that box, select next,
Welcome to Reolink.
and then turn on location settings. So we'll go to settings, enable it, go back, and then while using the app only. Allow Reolink to find, connect and determine the relative position. Allow. Reolink wants to turn on Bluetooth, so we'll click allow. Connecting to device, and now you'll see connection succeeded. And as you can hear, the voice has now stopped playing, which to be honest is a little bit annoying while you're trying to set up the camera. It could actually do with the volume being a little bit quieter on there. I would recommend, as it is quite loud. So maybe that's something that Reolink can do in the next firmware update, is make the initial volume a little bit quieter. Moving on, what we need to do is select the Wi-Fi network. So what we'll do then is just put in the Wi-Fi password and click on the tick button and then select next. Now what it's doing is connecting to Wi-Fi. So what it's doing is linking your camera up to the Wi-Fi network via the app. And there you go. Now it's initializing the device. And what we need to then do is create a device password. So what we'll do is give it a super secure password for my lab setup and repeat the password in the second box here and click tick. Now we've got the option to illegal login lockout. Now what that will do is after a series of failed attempts within 3 minutes, your camera will be temporarily locked for a few minutes. So I'd recommend just leaving that option as default, which is turned on. So what we'll do is click next. And then what we can do is name the device. So we'll leave it as Reolink Altas and click next. Then it's asking us to format the micro SD card. So we'll just go ahead, leave that ticked and click next. Just make you aware that formatting, obviously the micro SD card will remove any files already on there. As is this not used for anything else, we can click next to format it and confirm. And then we've got an option here saying, please note that the camera detects events with PIR motion. Proper installation of the camera sensor helps reduce false alarms and save battery power. Cameras should avoid point to frequently moving objects, point to strong light or close to strong signal interference, or point to heat sources, or point to the mirror, of course. So we'll just click next. Go down and confirm the statement of compliance by clicking I got it. And then initialization is complete. So as you can see, it's asking us to save the QR code. So what it will do is save another image of your QR code on your smart device. So as I've already taken a picture of this, we can click and save it. So it doesn't really matter, we can save another copy. And then what I would recommend doing is storing it somewhere on another device, say, for example, on a PC or on a Mac or something like that, as well as on your smartphone device, so that you have more than one copy of the picture. So we'll just click finish. And here you can see we now have the camera, which is enabled. You'll see that we should have a picture in a moment. And there you can see we've got loading stream. So there's my hand going across it. And of course, what you can do is set the options to fluent or clear, which will increase the image quality. And of course, you can go into the settings here using the gear icon and tailor it to your requirements. So you can see we've got battery 100%, Wi-Fi network display, sound, light settings, PIR motion sensor which is on, detection alarm, camera recording, push notifications, FTP, siren, time-lapse, file encryption and advanced. In advanced we've got shared device, illegal login, lockout, change the device password and set the date and time. Move the camera and you'll see we've got an image here of my computer terminal screen here. Now this is just me holding the camera as it is, so as you can see it's a bit jerky at the moment, but that's to be expected with me holding it. So once we take the plastic cover off the screen, of course, this will then greatly improve the picture quality, as you can see. Now I think the picture quality is actually really quite good. So that's it. Now we've added it into the app and got it set up with the default settings. In another video I will show you it being installed temporarily outside of one of my shed walls. We'll end this video here and hope you liked this video. Hope you found it useful. Feel free to leave a comment and of course don't forget to tick that thumbs up button as well. And thanks for watching this video and I'll be back with a follow-up video again soon. Bye for now.